The latest viral news emerging from the United States reflects a turbulent and fast-changing landscape where political clashes, foreign policy decisions, and climate emergencies are all unfolding simultaneously. At the top of the headlines stands the case against former FBI Director James Comey, whose legal troubles have reignited deep tensions between the justice system and the political establishment. Following the filing of charges, former President Donald Trump and his allies immediately launched into fierce commentary, alleging bias and political maneuvering within the Department of Justice. This has sparked heated debates both in Congress and across multiple states over whether legal proceedings are being carried out fairly or whether partisan motivations are dominating. Analysts argue that the incident could have long-term implications for the rule of law, electoral integrity, and public trust in federal institutions. Rumors of internal reshuffling within federal agencies, including claims of dismissals and forced transfers, have only fueled concerns that the independence of justice in America is at risk, leaving citizens questioning whether the system is truly impartial. Meanwhile, even as political battles rage on, nature has introduced another layer of uncertainty through escalating climate-related threats. Hurricane Umberto, which has been rapidly strengthening in the Atlantic, is emerging as a significant concern for southeastern coastal states. The National Hurricane Center has issued urgent warnings that the storm could intensify further, bringing destructive winds, torrential rains, and life-threatening storm surges to vulnerable areas. Local authorities have begun urging residents to prepare emergency supplies, secure their homes, and in some cases, evacuate coastal zones before the storm makes landfall. Alongside Umberto, another tropical disturbance is forming near the Caribbean, heightening concerns of multiple weather systems threatening U.S. territories and nearby islands simultaneously. These developments are disrupting travel, shipping routes, and even the regional economy, particularly in tourist-dependent communities. Experts emphasize that such storms are becoming more frequent and intense due to climate change, underscoring the urgent need for stronger infrastructure, preparedness, and sustainable policies that can mitigate the human and economic toll of natural disasters. On the international front, a striking development came when the U.S. State Department announced the revocation of Colombian President Gustavo Petro's visa following controversial statements he made during demonstrations in New York. American officials claimed that Petro's remarks, which allegedly encouraged disobedience against U.S. military officers and law enforcement, crossed a red line and warranted immediate diplomatic action. This move has triggered fresh tensions in hemispheric relations, with Latin American governments closely monitoring the fallout and voicing concern about Washington's handling of the issue. Political analysts note that the decision could set a precedent for how the U.S. responds to foreign leaders who criticize or undermine its institutions on American soil. Meanwhile, Colombian media and regional commentators have described the episode as both provocative and destabilizing, suggesting that it might complicate ongoing negotiations over trade, security cooperation, and environmental initiatives between Washington and Bogotá. The clash has also sparked a wave of narratives on social media, where competing sides are pushing propaganda, memes, and hashtags, further complicating the already tense diplomatic atmosphere. Beyond these headline stories, a wave of internal polarization and sporadic outbreaks of violence continue to dominate America's national discourse. High-profile protests, allegations of misconduct by prominent politicians, and viral footage of confrontations between citizens and law enforcement have amplified divisions across the country. What once might have been isolated local disputes are now rapidly elevated into nationwide debates, thanks to the speed of digital media and the emotional weight of political tribalism. In this climate, the judiciary, the press, and public opinion are locked in a cycle of influence, with each shaping the other in real time. Experts warn that unless transparency, accountability, and credible fact-checking are prioritized, misinformation could further erode civic trust. As things stand, Americans are confronted with a series of overlapping crises, political scandals, looming climate disasters, diplomatic rifts, and deepening domestic polarization that together define the uncertain trajectory of the nation. Observers both within the U.S. and abroad agree that how these issues evolve in the coming weeks will be pivotal in shaping not only American policy but also its global standing for years to come.